Donc là, on va essayer de mesurer la radioactivité ambiante. À Narbonne, le bruit de fond, c'est la normalité. Il est à 43 coups par seconde, 44. On va voir quand on s'approche du site. On est 3 fois au-dessus, là. Là, on est à 450 coups par seconde. Là, il y a un monsieur qui passe juste là. Bientôt à 500 coups par seconde. Donc, tout ça sont des fûts radioactifs.
This is Narbonne in southeastern France. It's a shock to find such levels of radioactivity here. But we're close to the largest uranium conversion plant in Europe.
2400-2500 coups par seconde.
Supplied with uranium from Africa, the site produces tens of thousands of tons of waste just 3 kilometers from the center of the city. Locals are understandably worried about pollution.
Regardez l'état des installations.
But the directors of Orano, the company that owns and runs this facility, reject those concerns.
Je suis très clair sur le sujet. Il n'y a aucun impact environnemental autour du site.
We followed the uranium trail all the way back to Niger, a country that has supplied European nuclear power stations with ore for over 50 years. The investigation even generated a political debate.
Des journalistes ont rendu public des mesures effectuées autour du site d'Orano. Vous devez de réagir, c'est inacceptable.
Unacceptable or not, people here may have to get used to it. President Emmanuel Macron, seeking re-election in 2022, has put nuclear power at the heart of France's fight against global warming.
Ce que nous avons à bâtir aujourd'hui, parce que c'est le bon moment, parce que c'est ce qu'il faut pour notre nation et parce que les conditions sont maintenant réunies, c'est la renaissance du nucléaire français.
To meet a target of carbon neutrality by 2050, he's announced that the country could build as many as 14 new nuclear reactors in decades to come.
Je souhaite que 6 EPR2 soient construits et que nous lancions les études sur la construction de 8 EPR2 additionnels.
But more reactors will also mean extracting and storing more uranium, and more risk from a radioactive material that remains deadly for thousands of years. Our investigation begins in the northern deserts of Niger. This is where the uranium trail starts, in a country with some of the world's largest reserves. The area is closed off to most foreigners. Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State regularly carry out attacks in this region. To avoid being taken hostage, we are escorted by a unit from the National Guard. 10 well-armed soldiers. We cover ourselves to remain as unobtrusive as possible. After 3 days of travel, we finally arrive in Alit, the regional capital. The town was built in the 1970s thanks to its uranium deposits. It's close to 2 huge mines, one now being decommissioned, run by subsidiaries of the French multinational Orano, which everyone here still calls by its old name, Areva. The inhabitants of Alit only see the leftovers of the uranium. These huge yellow heaps, mining residue exposed to the open air. The dust is often carried by the wind right into the town and sometimes into its houses. But our military escort insists we turn back. Beyond this point, we'd be in Orano or Areva territory. Despite numerous requests, Areva refused to let us onto the site. We can't help but wonder why. So could Areva Orano really be responsible for what this activist calls an ecological disaster? We arrange a discreet meeting with a company employee. He gives us this USB key, but doesn't want to answer any questions for fear of reprisals. In this classified footage, the mining operation's environmental impact is clear to see. The group uses explosives to access the uranium. Amid the dust, the miners dig up radioactive soil to obtain this paste, called yellow cake, a uranium concentrate. Curse of Uranium produces 2,500 tons per year in Niger. The operation requires heavy chemical processes and generates large amounts of residue. So there's nothing natural about the hills beyond the town. Just 35 million tons of toxic waste stored in the open air. This is where we'll finally meet the local managers of Curse of Uranium, which exploits Niger's uranium. It's easy to find them. Their offices are just opposite the Ministry of Mining.